Hey guys, JamesMCD Reviews here. How you guys doing? And welcome to a very impromptu TV log. I have basically stacked myself to the brim with TV shows that I have to watch. Cobra Kai, I just finished season 1. I gotta get through seasons 2 and 3. Loki comes out next week on Wednesday, so I'm gonna be starting those vlogs. I've got The Mandalorian and Clone Wars that I said I was gonna watch. It seems like I've got like a never-ending list of shows that I need to watch and do videos on. But I had to do a quick video talking about this show because this is absolutely one of the best shows that I've seen in a while. If you've been on the internet recently, you know that people have been absolutely gushing over this new animated Amazon Prime original show, and after watching through all 8 episodes of it, I just had to talk about it. So here is my real quick review of As a heads up, there will be some spoilers in this video, but I'm gonna try and save them for the end. So if you haven't watched the series yet, go watch it. It's really good. If you're one of those people that have been kind of burnt out by superhero movies and you've got kind of superhero fatigue, this will do it for you. I think it is very refreshing and very unique, and it's just everything about it. I love the action, I love the animation, I love the story, I love the characters, I love the drama. Just everything about it works so unbelievably well. So admittedly, when you first start talking about the plot of Invincible, it seems all too familiar. The story centers around this high school kid named Mark Grayson, played by Steven Yeun, who's the son of this guy called Omni-Man, played by J.K. Simmons. All-powerful alien from another planet who has come down to Earth. He's started a family, but he's also helping protect the planet from various attacks along with this other group of superheroes called the Guardians of the Globe, basically the Justice League. But everything changes when Mark eventually gets his powers because he is half Viltrumite, which is the alien race that Omni-Man is a part of. And so he basically kind of has to navigate his high school life and the stress that comes with that and his relationships and stuff like that, on top of figuring out his powers and learning how to become a superhero. When I watched the first episode and I kind of saw where the story was going, I was kind of like, okay, this is good. I like the animation. I think the voice acting is all really top notch. I like Steven Yeun, I like Sandra Oh, and I like J.K. Simmons. I think that sort of family dynamic is going to be interesting going forward. But I mean, there's nothing really unique about this show that I haven't seen from other superhero related things before. And then when we get to the ending of that first episode, I was like, my jaw hit the ground. I was like, oh my god. Basically out of nowhere, we see this brutal scene of Omni-Man slaughtering the Guardians of the Globe in their sort of home base. And the whole rest of the show is us trying to piece together, like, why the fuck did he do this? Is he being controlled? What's the reasoning behind it? And you're kind of figuring out the pieces where, at the same time that the characters are. And it just adds that extra bit of tension in between an already, like, dramatic and intense show. Like, there are some really intense scenes in this show and some graphic fights and violence and shit like that. And what I love, I think this show absolutely benefits from it being animated, because that means that they have a lot more freedom to basically do whatever they want. And I just absolutely love that. There are some bits here and there where the animation can be a bit choppy, but for the most part, I think it looks gorgeous. I love the colors, I love the movements, I love how like fluent it is, and it's just amazing. I also love the story. I think it does a really good job subverting a lot of the cliches that we've become accustomed to with superhero properties nowadays, and I think that the part where it shines the most is showing all of the struggles with each of the characters. All the characters have their own like struggles or insecurities that they have to overcome, and each one is super relatable. I think anyone that's of high school age or even maybe college age can relate to Mark and his frustrations between trying to balance all of his like relationships and like social life, as well as, you know, not being really happy with school and kind of wanting to do better things and improve as a person and things like that. I feel like that's a very relatable thing to go through. Eve constantly going back and forth between whether or not she even wants to be a superhero, and you know, she's been tied down to this team, the teen team, these people who don't really feel like a team. They're all just kind of dicks to each other. And you know, she's been in that environment for so long that she wants to get out and better herself, and she doesn't even know really what she wants to do. I think there's a lot of people that can relate to that as well. They even do the thing that a lot of the Marvel shows do, where they make some of the villains like sort of sympathetic, where you understand where they're coming from. That guy Titan who had an altercation with Invincible in one of the first episodes, like the only reason that he turned to crime in the first place was because he was working for this boss, Machine Man, one of the most notorious crime lords in the city, and he was just trying to protect his family. So like, I just love how everything that every character does has a reason, and I think all of the characters in this show are super compelling. The one standout, of course, being Omni-Man. I think this guy is now the gold standard for what a twist villain is. First of all, I think J.K. Simmons, I mean, I love that dude. He's a great actor. He brings like a nice level of like importance and I guess gravitas to anything that he does, and he can also be really funny and really dramatic and intense when he needs to be. And his voice absolutely was perfect casting for Omni-Man. And as soon as we see him make that turn, every time he is on screen, you're terrified of him, especially as the series progresses, and he almost starts to feel like a horror movie villain, like where whenever he's on screen, you're kind of like clenched up and you're like getting really nervous. You're like, fuck, is someone about to die? Like, and especially when we find out his motivation and his whole mindset behind what he does in the final episode, it's like you feel for not only Beth and Mark, who have had this guy living with them and lying to them this whole time, but you also are kind of like heartbroken yourself, because this whole time you've been trying to rationalize yourself, like surely this guy has got a good reason for why he did what he did. But no, he just does not give a shit. He just blatantly hates the human race and is just an asshole and wants to, and is only put up with us for so long because he wanted to lure us all into a false sense of security so that he could destroy everyone. And that whole final battle at the end was just absolutely difficult to watch. Like, the violence is ramped up to 11. It's super gory. Like, the sound design is just so absolutely disgusting. Like, this type of shit puts the Saw movies to shame. Just that whole mindset of, you know, Mark, like, determined to defend his home from this absolute psychopath, and the more he tries, the more damage he does, is just absolutely devastating. And to see that how it all plays out, I'm very curious what's going to happen in the seasons going forward, is if there's going to be some sort of redemption for Nolan, for Omni-Man. Is Mark going to be prepared for the inevitable attack that comes on? I'm excited. I'm really excited to see where this goes. Some constructive criticisms that I would give, everyone on the internet has pretty much talked about this already, but I'm honestly still so, like, mixed on how to feel about Amber. Like, I think she starts off the season as a really cool character, and I think Zazie Beetz does a really great job of voicing her. But after that whole twist in episode 7 of, oh, I knew all along that you were a superhero, Mark, but I'm still mad at you. That kind of rubbed me the wrong way, and I honestly don't know how I feel about them being back together. I mean, I'm sure that that's just setting up for future storylines where their relationship will be tested even more, but honestly, I agree with what everyone else has been saying, that Amber just kind of seems like a toxic person that, you know, Mark doesn't really need to be associating with right now. Like, if she's gonna pull that sort of shit, being mad at Mark for no real reason when she knew all along that he was protecting people and risking his health and safety for humanity, and then to come back and be like, oh, I'll forgive you now that your dad's turned out to be a bloodthirsty psychopath. Like, I don't know how I feel about that. But beyond that, I mean, that's just me really reaching for criticisms. Like, I am just absolutely blown away by this show, and I have not been able to stop thinking about it since I finished watching it. I want the next season like tomorrow. like that's where I'm at right now. I'm just that hyped for this show. Like I said at the beginning, if you're one of those people that have been kind of burnt out by superhero shows and movies and you need something a bit more refreshing, this is it. I would say. It's very well put together, well acted, well animated. It has a great story, compelling characters, brutal action. It's very adult. Don't mistake this as a kids show just because it's animated. There's some swearing, some blood, some guts, everything. It's awesome, but it is intense. So I would say just keep that in mind when you're watching it. And I'm going to have to give season 1 of Invincible a 4. But anyway, that does it for this video. Let me know down in the comments what your thoughts are on Invincible season 1, or what are you looking forward to in the next couple seasons. Let me know all that stuff down in the comments. Until next time, be sure to like, subscribe, ring the notification bell so you can stay up to date on when I'm posting. Follow me on all my social media, subscribe to my main channel. Everything you need to know will be in the description. Thank you guys again for watching, and I'll see you later.